Welcome to this week's Movie News Monday on a Tuesday, which hopefully we can keep the time in the future a bit better. Reason for that was that I binged through a whole bunch of Sundance movies, and I do have a couple of screeners still to get through. Really busy week. I attended a film convention. So much was going on. We talk a bit more about that on the podcast if you haven't checked it out. But this week we have huge news as well. There's some acquisitions that happened now that Sundance is wrapped up. We also have the whole ordeal with Karla, Sofia, Gascon around the Oscar drama. Kevin will join us later on to discuss that. And then later today, in about an hour from now, or if you watch this on the VOD later on, you'll find the time codes as well. But we also do have a Sundance recap of, I believe, around 25 movies that we ended up catching from the program, mainly the ones from the competition that was online. I also had a bit of access to press through a colleague. We'll talk about some films, and there's some good ones in there, but not as great as last year, I do have to say. There's no DD this year, for example. But let's get on over to the headlines, because we do have a ton to talk about. I was out of it this week with the news, and I was surprised at how much kind of still happened. But all right, let's jump straight in. Let's waste no time, no dilly-dallying. We're also doing this a bit earlier in the day for those, I guess, in the States or wherever you're watching from, because I do have something to do in the evening, so we'll do these streams back to back. So full-on entertainment for the next couple of hours. If you have nothing to do, we got a Sundance recap and some news to discuss. But let's kick it off with our first news story, and we will start off with, was that a bit loud? No, I think it's fine. All right, let me show you here. There we go. All right, first up, A24 buys Sorry Baby for $8 million. We also got another pickup over from Sundance. Neon ended up spending pretty much the most, picking up Together for Netflix. For Neon for $15 million. Netflix buys Train Dreams for a figure in the high teens that hasn't been disclosed yet. I ended up missing out on that one, unfortunately. And then there was a bit of a hiccup when leaks came out from showing certain scenes from Twinless and Selena y los Dinos, and the movies ended up being pulled from the online accessible platform over I guess on the merit of maybe Netflix being a bit involved in the one for Train Dreams, because that one ended up being removed after Netflix got it. There's a bit of a conspiracy theory for you. We weren't there in person, but there's a lot of people who did great coverage from it. We can definitely recommend Intercut, which I believe they're going to talk about 50 or 60 films. Again, we only caught about 25 of them, but we'll take a look at some of the biggest titles again in a separate stream later on. But looking at the festival winners, we did have Atropia take home the prize for US dramatic competition, Seeds for US documentary competition, Sababunda, Cactus Pears for World Cinema Dramatic Competition, and Cutting Through Rocks for the World Cinema Documentary Competition. We also got the Grand Jury Prize winners in next for the Zodiac Killer Project, and there's a couple more. Again, we'll cover that in a full-on Sundance recap. And then we also have a couple new trailers out this week. One of them is Magazine Dreams, the controversial movie now that Jonathan Majors is attached to it. Premiered 2 years ago at the Sundance Film Festival, and it's eyeing a release date on March 21st. Wait, let me actually switch to a different news music. On March 21st, and is now being distributed by Briarcliff Entertainment. Then we also have the first trailer for Megan 2.0, and some details were revealed, that it's set 2 years after the first film, and the AI tech from Megan was stolen and then now is being used by military under a weapon called Emilia, and Megan is now resurrected as well, making and is more powerful than ever and has to go up against another AI. That's what we want to do. We don't want AI nowadays place to like fight other humans. They have to go against other AI. Then it's entertainment. Otherwise, it's just like a eerily, I don't know, future prognosis in a way. And then one of my most anticipated horror films, or just films in general, got its first teaser trailer. We'll take a look at that later on. Final Destination Bloodlines. Yes, don't judge me. I just love that franchise. And then just before the stream started, we got the first trailer for Fantastic Four, the first steps. I haven't seen it yet. It premiered at Good Morning America this morning. I will be taking a look in a second. Then there's some general news stories. Tarantino is working on a play before making his final movie. He says, I kind of want to not end up doing whatever movie I end up doing until my son is 6. I'm lacking the information on the age of Tarantino's son. I was like, I'm not gonna look that up, but hey, he's doing something else for the meanwhile. He also had, in true Tarantino fashion, another dumbass quote where he said that 2019 was the last year for movies due to streaming taking over and basically ruining everything. He's becoming the old guy with a cane, just complaining about shit. Then Sony pushes the 6th Insidious film by a year to August 2026 and dates Aronofsky's Caught Stealing in its place. Guy Pearce doesn't care for his Memento performance. He says it's like nails on a coffin, nails on a chalkboard. I don't think it's. I think it's pretty good. Like the movie itself is really good. That's why that film really works. But he's pretty good in it too. Then Cronenberg's The Shrouds gets a release date for April 25. We also got a trailer for that one, and we already reviewed it when we caught it in Gun. The Toxic Avenger sets a release date for the Labor Day weekend on August 29. And then next week, we're going to talk about all the trailers that dropped at the Super Bowl. We can expect Thunderbolts, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, and Jurassic World Rebirth among those that expect to drop some teasers and trailers. I'm not going to watch the game, but I'll watch the trailers. Then Prime Video closes a multi-year deal for Lionsgate Films. PlayStation State of Play is reportedly scheduled during Valentine's Week. Oh wait, I skipped one. I didn't mean to do that. I think that something's wrong. Again, the Duffer Brothers described the final season of wait, let me get that back. Hold up, technical difficulties. There we go. The Duffer Brothers described the final season of Stranger Things like 8 blockbuster movies that are filmed with over 650 hours of footage. Now that's a lot of footage. Like you've already seen, the estate of Superman creator Joseph Schuster is suing Warner Brothers and DC. They claim that the studio lacks the rights to release the upcoming film in some major territories, including Canada, UK, and Australia. Then, streaming services have shown increased interest in working with influencers following Mr. Beast's Beast Game's performance. The show had 50 million viewers in its first 25 days, which I feel like in Mr. Beast terms like that's not a lot, but hey. And then, most importantly, of all the news this week, Joe Biden has signed with Hollywood talent agency CAA. Then we have a couple of new projects that were announced. The 4th and final Terrifier film will reveal the origin of Art the Clown. Den of Thieves 3 is in the works with Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. expected to return. Now I guess I know that they're making it through too. A bit of a spoilers, but I don't know. That deletes. I guess that makes sense. Mike Leigh's next film is set to shoot this year. There were no details revealed so far, as I'm still waiting to see Hot Truths. And then Taron Gilliam, again, I don't have a slide for that. Whoops, I forgot a whole bunch of stuff this week. But Taron Gilliam, at the end of the days, movie that he made is heading to the European film market. And then we also have a live-action Just Cause movie that is moving forward with Blue Beetle director Angel Manuel Soto set to direct. And then we do have a couple of castings. Now we're back caught up. David Arquette has been cast in slasher movie Kill or Be Killed. Scott Foley joins Scream 7 as he previously starred as Sidney's half-brother in the 3rd movie. I won't spoil in what role he was in, but again, I think we have... Okay, now we're back to this being correct. I don't know what happened here. There we go, Scott Foley. I won't spoil what the role he had, but Matthew Lillard is also coming back, so I guess... You've probably seen the first one and you know where they're going with this. I don't know where they're going with this. Seems pretty strange to cast, back in that movie. Then Noah Centineo boards the thriller Listen from Brian Birch and Will Smith producing. It's described as a contained thriller that combines suspense and horror through a uniquely sound-driven mystery. Then Kyle Mooney, Ken Jeong, Liza Koshy, and many more have been cast in Amazon MGM's holiday family comedy The Man with the Bag. Eric Bana joins Charlize Theron and Taron Egerton in Netflix's thriller Apex. The script is described as a free solo meets Silence of the Lambs and follows a rock climber who finds herself being hunted in the wild. It is unknown who Bana will be playing. Then Himesh Patel, Elliot Page, Bill Irving, Samantha Morton. Those have all been cast in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. We also got Benny Safdie, who is also trying to cast. That is just... he's just so stacked beyond belief. Then Jake Gyllenhaal has been cast in M. Night Shyamalan's next film, which he co-wrote with Nicholas Sparks. Eddie Murphy will play a former super spy in Blue Falcon from London Has Fallen screenwriter Chad St. John. Scott and Trace Atkins joined the Western Day of Reckoning. Brendan Sklenar from 1923 also joins a modern-day Western called The Rescue from Skydance. David Johnson will star in Frank Ocean's directorial debut, and that brings us to the end of new projects and castings. And Netflix revealed this week in a first look their whole slate for 2024 movies that I guess doesn't include Train Dreams and stuff that they're going to acquire later on in the year, but it includes Frankenstein from Guillermo del Toro, Old God 2, Wake Up Dead Man, and I've Man Mystery, and much more. We'll be taking a look at that closer. Among them as well is Noah Baumbach's next film with George Clooney, Adam Sandler, Greta Gerwig, Riley Keough, Patrick Wilson, Alba Rohrwacher, Billy Crudup, and Laura Dern, called Jay Kelly, and it's expected to release in fall. We also got the Norwegian film Troll 2, which I guess their own take on a Godzilla movie in a way, I guess, but that movie had 103 million views back in 2021, and I guess it's back. Gareth Evans' Havoc with Tom Hardy also releases on Netflix in spring. And then we have made it to the big old drama around the Best Actress nominee, Karla Sofia Gascon. Over the last week, some problematic tweets from her have resurfaced that show patterns of year-long racist and Islamophobic rhetoric. The journalist who spotlighted all of those was interviewed by Variety, and you can go check it out. It's actually a pretty good interview. Then, in that whole midst of all of that mess, I can recommend Dan Merrill's video on that because it kind of broke it down, but I feel like more stuff has come out since then. But Sofia Gascon has deactivated her Twitter. For those curious, there's also a thread that I don't have in here, but it should be linked below then, where basically all of the deleted tweets are kind of assembled so you can see it. But then she also made multiple statements about all the drama that involved her earlier this week. She at one point was also earlier, before all of the Twitter stuff happened, calling out Fernanda Torres' team and said they were slamming her, and then kind of walked it back again and said, no, that's actually not, we're like, she's a wonderful ally. It's just, I don't know, it's this whole Oscar thing has been a bit of a mess. But for those curious who are from Brazil and very much rooting for I'm Still Here, I feel like this whole drama has opened up the race in international quite a bit more, that she can actually win. I don't think Sofia Gascon was ever a true contender for Best Actress, and Fernanda Torres could definitely be the Demi Moore and Mikey Madison, who are seemingly the frontrunners in the Best Actress category. So hey, makes it for a really interesting Oscar season this year. But I would have wanted it not like this. This seems a bit messy in not such a nice way. But it's basically all just a mess. So she made an excuse that she basically used Twitter in a way where she just kind of put her thoughts out and didn't mean to influence anyone with it. She posted about Hitler getting too much hate, the Oscars being too woke, and racist stuff about George Floyd. It's a lot. Again, we won't get into it, like all of the stuff and look at it, but it's yeah, it's pretty disheartening. And then Sir Saldana also addressed the controversy while doing press for the film, and said, it makes me really sad because I don't support and I don't have any tolerance for any negative rhetoric towards people of any group. I can only attest to the experience that I had with each and every individual that was a part of this film, and my experience and my interaction with them were all about inclusivity, collaboration, and racial, cultural, and gender equity. And it just saddens me. So yeah, man, it's just kind of dead in the water, I guess, for what that means for Emilia Pérez. But the movie isn't very good, so I can't really say that I care too much that it's getting tanked. But okay, before there's too much news and noise and everything is happening, we're waiting for Kevin to join us so we can discuss the news, and he should be with us any minute. But obviously the thing that's on most people's minds, and I can pull up if we want to, we can have a look at the tweets, because you know they're out there, and it's just not a great look, and it's just kind of also pretty disappointing that like the first time a trans actress gets to, I guess, be nominated. What's up? All right, Kevin is here. Let me make sure you can all hear him properly, and then we can actually do this. Oh my god, Kevin's here. Look at this, he's on screen. Yeah, good times. All right, Kev.
I mean, by way context, Ewan has already asked me twice to be on the news stream, and every time I've haven't been able to.
That Emilia Pérez is tanking. He's here to shit on her.
First time the charm, right? Exactly.
Yeah, no. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Again, if you don't know,
no worries.
If you're just one that listens to the news streams here, Kev usually does a lot of like the festival stuff with me. He works a lot in the background. He was the one who edited a great montage that you can go check out on the channel. But yeah. Is there anything else that like no? Okay, I didn't bring up the Fernanda Torres blackface stuff because I feel like that was last week.
I was gonna mention that.
And,
I was actually gonna talk about the whole Oscar drama in general.
Okay,
it's been quite a messy.
It's been so messy.
Oscar season. Obviously, we got Gascon now. Her unauthorized interview as well on CNN without like even the approval of Netflix, of any of the Emilia Pérez cast. Yeah. Again, saying some of these stuff like, oh yeah, I'm very different to the person I was 10 to 20 years ago. Meanwhile, some of the tweets are like barely a year old. Roasting her castmates even, talking about Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And the whole thing. And then obviously you have that Fernanda Torres that she wanted blackface, but she apologized for it, and that, funnily enough, was also before all the Gascon things.
Yeah,
that was very long ago. So, like, I feel like that little drama thing just blew on by because of the whole Gascon bit. Then you also got the Brutalist and its whole AI thing. Even AI in Emilia Pérez, that some people needed AI to hit their notes correctly or something. Then we also got the whole intimacy coordinated things with Anora, because that was also a whole drama when that happened. And so that's why it feels so different from the 2023 Oscar season when we're really celebrating all the movies. We're having this polite banter between Oppenheimer, Barbie. Yeah. And this year it doesn't really feel like that. It really feels more like a scrappy schoolyard fight to decide who gets on top. And it feels
Which I feel like, look, we have a lot of people who tuned in for the first time from Brazil for reviews and the coverage of the last couple of weeks. Like, that stuff is not, like, it's also the same from Ariana, who I guess, and Selena, who's now not nominated, but Ariana is in there. I haven't seen a ton of like bad stuff come out of like the stan communities there, but it's just sometimes there's a bit too much of a drive to like just make something happen when the campaigning on the internet can get really grating and actually leave a bad taste in people's mouth about like what that movie, like in a similar vein that I don't know, but like the prime example is like the Rick and Morty thing, where just the fan base is so toxic and annoying that you don't want to associate with seeing it. I don't think, like, I'm still here so far away from that, but I see a lot of like the discourse be around like the campaigning and tearing each other down, when again it shouldn't be about that.
I also think you're referring to the smear campaign, right? Because that's also the main thing Gascon said, like it's a smear campaign, which in some retrospect I can totally understand, because you know,
just being trans, I feel like a lot of hate is gonna come her way regardless.
And it wasn't as if the whole thing was, you know, brought out by once at once. Because like I feel like it was 2 whole days almost of something, like one thing coming out. And then they went deeper, and something else came out an hour or 2 later, and then another thing, and then another thing, and then I wake up the next morning, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Lamar and Drake,
like,
you know?
That's why it really felt like, you know, a smear campaign. Like I can understand that aspect, because it just kept going and kept going, which was quite baffling. Yeah.
Oh, I think ultimately, this. Like, to speculate, I don't think it completely kills Emilia Pérez, but in the most part, in most categories, it might be more open.
I mean, look,
now.
Some people have translated Zoe Saldana's statement to, oh hey, like I don't really agree. Like I'm innocent. Like I get that rhetoric of people saying that again.
I mean, it is in a way distancing herself. Is like the way that she said it is just like, from my experience, in a very loose way. It's also like, this is not how she was on set. And I think the isolation of an Oscar campaign where you're constantly in the spotlight for this is probably like really something new for her. Not to excuse any of her behavior or what she did or like all of that, but it's just like a catalyst for maybe why this is happening right now. And
also, what does this mean for the Oscars? That's also what's been speculated on. You know, they were perhaps gonna do that whole 5 previous or 5 famous actors coming out doing a monologue about the whole thing, about the actors, about the nominated actors. Will that go away? Will that happen again? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know, really up in the air, but it's going to be a really unpredictable Oscar race, because I don't know if this like 100% tanks it for every category that is in, or if it's not, like, it's way more of a coin toss now that like maybe one of the songs it doesn't get. I don't think it had a shot in like Best Actress, but I don't think international. I don't think that
bad actress, even supporting actress, I don't really think Zoe Saldana has a shot. Even Best Picture, I think it's totally dead in the water now. So look, I'm not a fan of Emilia Pérez, and I hope it kind of gets a treatment other Netflix movies have in the past, specifically Scorsese, obviously always garnering those nominations, but never actually receiving any wins from them. True. And I hope Emilia Pérez kind of gets the same treatment.
Yeah. So I think my money would be on The Brutalist currently taking home the big prize, but it's really hard to predict.
The Brutalist, a complete unknown. I mean, I will say Timothée Chalamet, his campaign has been quite one to follow, you must admit.
That is true, yeah. It's been quite entertaining. The best one was when he rocked up with got a fine a couple of weeks back at a premiere.
A fine for that bike. He's been singing in front of the Eiffel Tower. I can't remember which song he was singing.
Yeah.
Obviously his SNL songs, performances. It's been a journey to follow from that aspect. We all also obviously got Conclave, we got Honora, but Honora lost quite a bit of steam. I will say, I do think if there's a lock, I do think it's Culkin. I think he's probably the...
Because I don't see that kind of love for Guy Pearce in The Brutalist that could take him out. I feel like he is the runner-up for it. But yeah, I think that's all the Oscar stuff. Do you want to take a look? Do you want to take a look at some of the Netflix announcements?
Sure. What do you got?
All right, let me show the people.
Because I can't see shit, obviously. So.
No, yeah. I mean, I could technically share the screen, but that's like a lot of work on my end.
Yeah. It's okay.
I don't know if I want to do that.
It's okay. You're lazy. We get it.
So there was there's Rip, for example, with Matt Damon as Lieutenant Dane Doomers and Ben Affleck as the Detective Sergeant J.D. Byrne. Yeah, a movie that I didn't know they were making, but I think there was like something that these two are working together again. That's one of them. I think the one that you care about the most is I don't know if it's in here, but Havoc.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately not in here. Hold up, let me actually.
Well,
show you real
some
quick.
people lost confidence in Havoc because I believe it shot in 2021 and only just recently had reshoots, and that's
Yeah.
why people have been like, "Oh man, like seriously that long?" But I think I don't know, with a director such as Gareth Evans, you still gotta have some hope. This is the
Yeah.
guy who directed the first two The Raid movies. It also means they have gotten time to polish this, which like a movie never is perfect. So if you can keep polishing it, keep getting those dope sound effects, any special effects that needs to be done. And again, man, it's Tom Hardy as in a Gareth Evans movie.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna lower my hype levels by bringing up those production troubles. So
And didn't they share a trailer for it at some point already as well? And
nah, just a tad like clip in the what's new on Netflix thing.
okay.
Or
I
like,
thought I had seen something because I don't know, it looked quite promising. Didn't look too bad, but
the letterbox poster looks shit. So
the poster is crazy. I mean, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Of course, we're looking forward to that.
yeah,
That looks fun. Happy Gilmore 2. I haven't seen the first, but
me neither.
this is a thing that's gonna happen. Wake Up Dead Man, the third Knife Side. It's been feels like so long since we got the last one. Was that like 2021 or 2022?
I thought it was 2022.
Yeah, if I don't know, it feels like very long ago because I feel like casting happened a while back, and I think it was done shooting a while back too.
Yeah,
so it's been in post production for a while. But yeah, looking forward to that one. Straw, no, I'm not. Tyler Perry, Skip.
For Knives Out, it's 3 years: 2019, 2022, 2025. It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if it's consistent, I don't know if this is going to be the last one. No, didn't they had a 2 or 3 picture deal with Netflix?
No, they had a 2 picture deal.
Okay.
Number 2 and 3.
So it's done after this one.
But the most curious thing will there be a theatrical release for Wake Up Dead Man? That's the big question.
I think there was a recent post, like a recent statement from Ted Sarandos that said that they're not going to change their approach for theatrical releases. It's just that Narnia with Greta Gerwig will get that exclusive thing. But there's a bunch. Like Fear Street gets another movie in here. I don't know why it's in here a couple times, but just for SEO purposes, they posted it 3 times. But there's a whole bunch. But again, I think Netflix has the best stuff yet to acquire, not to make. Yeah, anything else in the news that like stood out to you, like Tarantino's quotes or some Sundance stuff you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, the Tarantino quotes are interesting. But I actually was gonna talk about Jake Gyllenhaal and Shyamalan. That is a pairing that interests me very much because Jake Gyllenhaal, I believe, is one of the most versatile actors nails his director's style. Like every time he gets paired up with the director, I feel like he translates their vision to the screen the best. Talk about Nightcrawler, obviously, but even the most recent Ambulance with Michael Bay, I think that is still one of his best performances of Jake Gyllenhaal in a Michael Bay movie. But that's because he matches his energy so well, and I'm expecting that same type of collaboration with Shyamalan.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm looking really, really forward to this one.
I mean, he seems to be in, I don't know if he always was this way, but in a way, like, I'll just do whatever I'm asked to do, and I'll like put my heart and soul in it. Like even with Ambulance, right? He showed up for that, whatever it was. If it's good or bad, he just was there for it.
I love ambulance. Okay, I love ambulance. Don't slander ambulance.
Hands up, hands
I
up.
mean the Odyssey. I mean, I feel like we'll get news about the Odyssey every week.
No,
At this
it's a bigger
point.
news who's not in the Odyssey.
Exactly. Jake Gyllenhaal isn't in the Odyssey, that's for sure.
For now, we don't know about cameos. They can still happen.
Hey, Michael Caine will perhaps reappear. Who knows? Obviously, I think the big news of the day is Fantastic Four. Have you been able to see the trailer?
I haven't had a look at the trailer. Do we want to do a live reaction to it?
Oh, sure. I mean, I've seen it already, like
again,
3 times,
you can't even wait. Should I share you my screen so you?
Nah, it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
I kind of know the trailer.
I haven't seen it yet. The most touching point in the last couple of years for me with Reed Richards was in Marvel Rivals, where he gets big. He gets big for me.
Hey, the thing is releasing soon in Marvel Rivals, so.
Yeah, it's like the Thing, the movie. Yeah, no, that one too, but also the characters and Human Torch as well, pretty soon.
Yeah, I believe.
All right, let's have a look as how much we can see before we get struck down by Disney.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Wait, is the whole... Okay, I was about to say, like, is it going to be in Super 8?
How's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Okay. Okay.
The thing looks
Is
interesting.
This guy good or what?
I don't know if it's good or
I
bad.
want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious. I just want to add a little bit of zip. Okay?
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't
So it's going
turn
to use that
invisible.
Super 8 aesthetic a bunch when they're doing
Ben
flashbacks?
wasn't a rock.
I don't
Which is
know.
fun.
Pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
Well, I don't know if it's even Super 8,
Johnny
just
never
like
caught
that.
fire.
It's just more vintage.
That's a
And
crazy
he's always
haircut
been
for him like
Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
that. Okay.
I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's the reaction.
I don't know. There's not
As a
much.
family.
As a family. All right, July. Okay, so that was I do have to say it was a pretty mid trailer. Like, it didn't show much.
I feel like I like the beginning a bit more with the vintage look, and then it translated. Then it went on to be more like the Marvel
Family.
we know.
Yeah.
We've gotten known.
I mean, there's a tease of Galaxus there with the like shadow.
I mean, look, there are some choices with the Fantastic Four that I
no
really
action
like.
that they showed so far.
Rafe Ineson as Galactus is like a great choice if you need an actor to play a villain. You got John Malkovich in here, which
Yeah.
sure. Like, and again, I've talked to a few people about it, but I do think the Thing looks quite a lot like E.T.
Oh, with what? The head is not as like wide.
Nah, but like his structure in the face looks quite
think
like
so?
E.T., but it is apparently quite comics accurate. So I'll
Yeah, the big brows are a bit more comic accurate from what I've seen.
yeah.
I not that I've read a lot of the comics, but that seems less like human like to make it easier on
Yeah.
the makeup. But I don't know. They
There are
don't show
some things I
much.
like, and there are some things I'm just like it's the same old.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's giving a bit more of like, imagine you have a series that then does a flashback into the 60s or the 50s or 60s, and then it uses this exact same color palette of like the muted pastel-ish colors,
Yeah.
and that seemingly is all that it is. And like I don't know, stylistically they don't do like a lot of the blues in here. Obviously the Fantastic Four colors, a lot of like, you know, that also in just the general outfits, like white and blue. This is also crazy.
But
Galactus.
hey, Vanessa Kirby at the live stream trailer launch looks stunning. So
I mean, yes, that's all we care about. John Malkovich here.
but yeah, no.
I mean, yeah, this looks fine. It feels like a lot of the bigger things that they need to finish for this movie, like for action. I assume a second trailer. This is like an official teaser.
I mean, again,
it's gonna show more of like the actual story.
Like, I don't know when they wrapped, but it wasn't that long ago. I truly I'm baffled by the production like schedule of the Marvel movies, because apparently Avengers is next year already, right? And they haven't even started. So
have they even written it?
Exactly. It's.
I mean, it's the Russos, man. Chop, chop, chop. They can do it. Yeah, no, I don't know. And then I don't know. They don't need 3 Marvel movies this year. Maybe. I don't know. They jump to
Thunderbolt, Fantastic Four, and
Captain America, which comes out like literally next week.
I forgot about Captain America. Jesus.
Yeah.
Look, the only thing I'm excited about is Daredevil, because at least that's, you know, still has an original team, and you know they look like they're tapping into the things the fans loved from the original Netflix series. But from the rest, I honestly don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we need from Marvel to maybe be excited for some of their upcoming films. I know for me, it's like I'll sit there as much of like the other entertainment that is out there that feels pretty fluff and nothing. I'll watch it as always, but
I mean, you've kept on watching the Sony stuff, so.
Well, that was more of a meme, you know, just to see it end. But yeah, anything else that you want to discuss? Because we do have a couple more trailers or teasers, I guess, for Megan 2.0.
Well, I got 2 things left. So the whole Mr. Beast thing I found to be pretty interesting. Like, and I do think that's an evolution that will keep on happening. Like, I don't know if you even saw, but like, ishowspeed. Do you see his appearance at WWE?
I just heard about it. I didn't see anything.
Again, that
did he jump over someone?
No, that clip of him being in the Royal Rumble of the WWE got millions of views, and it just shows the evolution. Even Kai Cenat, obviously being a huge streamer, he Subathon, bringing in so many famous people. He was at the Grammys. And kept on, so you know, like these huge collaborations with influencers and bigger production, whether it be a reality show like Mr. Beast or a live show like the Oscars, the Grammys, you know, the Ballon d'Or. It's a really interesting evolution, and definitely one we should keep our eyes on.
Do you mean the Gun one when they had like the whole TikTok thing like 2 years ago?
I don't even remember that, but
they had a TikTok thing that they never brought back. They invited a bunch of TikTokers, and I think they went back to just like inviting them to premieres, so people can dress up for a premiere. But I had, for example, the Seed of the Sacred Fig. I had a couple of like Ukrainian girls or Russian girls in front of me who were on the phone the whole time until they left like an hour and a half in. It was the most annoying thing, and they were like so dressed up. I was like, well, maybe go to the red carpet once the light dims. Just head out if you don't want to watch the movie.
And you're in the background.
What?
Well,
what do you mean? I mean the background.
Filming.
They're filming. No, they weren't filming.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
Not that bad, but they constantly had their phone.
And obviously the Tarantino stuff. I can understand what he's saying. That's a problem. I can understand what he's saying.
Yeah, but I don't know. It feels like such a nothing thing to say.
No. Because I get what he's saying, especially with the 2 weeks release stuff. You know how like you know how indeed the theatrical in cinema in theaters like
wait,
meant
can I read
something.
out his quote? He said like, "What the fuck is a movie now? Something that plays in a theater for a token release of 4 weeks, and by the second week you can watch it on your TV." I don't get all of it. Wait, what? I didn't get into all of this for diminishing returns. Since 2019, it's gotten drastically worse. Yeah,
And like
but I mean,
underneath
that's
the
just
tweet,
COVID.
underneath the tweet, is also the video, and I actually implore you to watch the video if you have the
Alright.
time for it, but not now because it's a bit too long, perhaps. But I do agree with him. I mean, look how quickly stuff gets on VOD, and it's a shame, really, because piracy keeps booming out of that. And I can totally understand what he's saying with how 2019 was also the last great year for movies in theaters.
Didn't
Obviously,
he have beef with like some theater chains of how long like his movie was in before it would be on less screens? Was that not him? I thought that was him.
I think
Was it
you're
someone else?
talking about when Avengers Endgame came out in Cinerama. Like he was
Yeah.
supposed to have that, and then Disney came in and swooped all those.
Yeah. But I guess
screens
that's
from
not
him.
his issue here. It's something different. Yeah.
No, I do think he's talking about the actual state of theatrical release.
Okay, so as someone who works in that industry, I don't really get the criticism. Because like the issue is that the fast turnaround is because the amount of stuff that releases, which is also on the distribution companies to not really give a bit of breathing room. And especially in the last couple of years, we had issues where maybe a big release was scheduled and then just didn't hit, and then for 2 weeks we didn't have a like bigger new release, and they now are stacking it up maybe a bit too tightly sometimes, which just means that a lot of these smaller titles are not in theaters for a couple of weeks or might never get too wide.
Yeah, I get that, but also let's take Knives Out. Knives Out came out in 2019. It had a generational run at the box office. Like every week, the drop off was minimal. Even when it released online after months of being in theaters, it still made $4-5 million at the box office in America. And you know, look at the state of Knives Out now. And Netflix has said, "Oh, actually, we did miss a shit ton of money by not releasing it longer in theaters." And I think we're talking about those movies that could have. I'm talking about a Conclave. Conclave took a while before it was on VOD, and so obviously those titles you were talking about, I agree with you, but I also think there are some titles that Tarantino is specifically talking about.
I mean, he says like it plays in theaters for a token release of 4 weeks, which was even less, I guess.
2 weeks even. He's saying.
Well, and second week you can watch it on your TV, yeah. Which I guess for specifically, for example, Knives Out, like Glass Onion, it was like a week or two.
A week,
and then it was like out of theaters as well, and was only on Netflix.
Yeah,
which again, I think they've said like that was just kind of its own thing.
Yeah, but
it's a universal thing, right? Universal puts this stuff
but it's
on.
applicable. It's applicable to the situation he's talking about. So. And also the fact he's writing a play, we haven't even really talked about that, because if the play is successful, then he'll probably make that his last film, he has said, which I am actually really excited about.
Which is like him putting on a exclusive streaming thing of only having it play out in a actual theater, and that's the streaming, and there's a later on. No, actually that doesn't make any sense. I was trying to get to somewhere, but dude, I don't know. I just don't like the way he talks. He just kind of is annoying to me. So I don't know. I'm quicker to disagree with whenever he has like some. I don't know. He has like a lot of like black and white takes, in my opinion. So. It's a bit harder for that, and I think we're not in a horrible state for movies overall. So that's like, to me, it screams like I haven't been to the theater in a year. Obviously not him, but like a lot of these critiques when they get launched, oftentimes it's like, oh yeah, there's nothing good in theaters. Well, how many times did you go? Well, I went like
Well,
I
yeah,
went
yeah.
to see
I
Dune and
don't think he has
Deadpool, and then I was done. You know.
of course.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Again, I'm just keen for Final Destination
Final
Bloodlines.
Destination. Oh
Go
my
check
god,
that
my
out
favorite horror franchise.
on your own time. I do want to take a quick look at Megan 2.0, that teaser, because I haven't had a look at it.
Oh,
And
I have.
Magazine Dreams, I think it's fine. Again, I've seen the longer version of this, not as a trailer, but as the actual scene, which I think was more than 2 minutes, which I can't talk about more. So I think just to stay safe, I will not look at that. But Final Destination Bloodlines, I'll definitely make some of you rewatch those films with me in the lead up to that movie. I don't care who it is. Someone has to do it. Well, if you don't, then I'll ask.
I'll do it. But to be fair,
let's go.
I've also seen the pretty much it commentaries to the Final Destination. Those are pretty iconic as well.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else, or otherwise I'll send you off and I'll close it out with the Megan 2.0 trailer teaser to you.
Have fun with Megan 2.0.
Thank you. And then later on we'll do a Sundance coverage, which Kevin won't be joining us, unfortunately. Oh, what did you want to talk about? You didn't want to talk about the Sundance films you've seen?
I've only seen 2, which are Omaha and Sorry Baby. You'll probably bring it up when you talk about Sorry Baby, but I really liked Sorry Baby, and there's some really powerful stuff in there. It's just that sometimes the tone. Some people call the movie very controlling in terms of its tone. I disagree a bit with that, especially the first scene when they are sitting on that couch talking about a certain topic, and then with what happens later on in the movie, I look back on that first scene, I'm like, I don't really think that works tonally then, if you...
Yeah, it's a bit of a jump,
but,
yeah.
Yes, but obviously it jumps around. And Omaha, I always talk about, whenever a movie ends with text, revealing something bigger, with small things like these, you see it constantly, like, oh, hey, there's actual context behind this movie. And that's meant to be like the devastating blow. For me in Omaha, that worked. And again, Magaro, my guy is a stellar actor.
No, he's great. He's great. Yeah.
And I saw you gave Omaha a positive score, which means you liked the children. You liked the child performances.
I liked the child performances. Yeah, both of them were really good.
Oh my god!
Would you rather? Yeah, it was a pretty good movie. Again, I think Connor also liked it, so we'll talk about it a bit more.
And obviously, the Fever, you haven't actually told me this. Do you agree with my comparison to Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
Oh, for Sorry Baby, I can see where you're coming from. I definitely saw that, especially interactions with the neighbor.
Yeah, and also the comedy a bit.
Maybe, yeah. I feel like it's not British enough for that to
sure, but like
that's something that is like
the parallels,
but it's there. Yeah, I know. I'd agree.
Right.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Again, some reviews and other stuff where you see. Do you want to shout out anything? People who are here. Montage. Shout out your montage.
Go watch the montage.
Yeah.
Severely underseen, need to be watched more. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that montage, so please go watch it.
And he doesn't cry a lot, so
exactly. It's actually... We're having some projects in the works, and hopefully they'll release.
Yes. Projects yes, we are working on stuff. Actually, yeah, no, so much. I'm in the here right now. But we have like 7 things going on at the moment. So stay tuned
like
for that.
3.
No, oversell it. Oversell, Kevin.
Oh yeah. Okay, we got 7 projects.
Subscribe. Yeah, no, exactly. No, I said 7.
Subscribe if you haven't yet.
No, yeah. No,
we need to get to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
1,000 subscribers. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pets.
I knew you were gonna say cats. Oh, this guy pandering. Anyways, all right. I will kick you off Goodbye.
Alright, kick me out then.
Forever.
Kick me out. I dare you. Kick me out.
I can actually. Wait, let me.
Oh,
Oh,
do it.
shit, no, it shows up when I click on him. I can just hang up. That is a bit more graceful. There we go. Now he's gone. But he can join back in. But I'll make sure to give this Megan teaser a quick watch, and then we're done for today. But again, we are back in about 10 minutes time roughly to cover all the Sundance movies. So just stay on the channel, hop on over. But yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of like Megan 2.1. This is also just like a short 50-second teaser, but let's give it a watch. Okay. She definitely looks bigger. It's just like the same actress still. That meme. Okay, is it just going to be nothing? Okay. Is it just going to be dancing? This was not worth kicking Kevin out of the call.
Miss me?
Okay. It's a phenomenon. Okay, well that wasn't really worth it, but it is what it is, man. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. We're back with Connor in a bit. Thanks so much for watching. Again, check out the montage video, subscribe, whatever you say here. You can also become a member now and get some perks like some early videos, podcast early, all of that stuff. But we'll be back in a sec, so have a good one. Bye.